Welcome back to The Price of Business. I'm your host, Kevin Price, talking to you about you. You and your business. Is really important for you to make politics part of your business, because if you aren't aware of the importance of what's happening in the political process, you are begging financial failure on yourself. And I tell you, that's happening all the time. And now, really, we have a rare occasion, a rare opportunity to really turn things around. I don't see how the Democrats take back the U.S. House of Representatives. I think, the Senate is fairly vulnerable. There's probably a 1.5 Republicans for every one Democrat running in 2016. But I think the Republicans can hold on to the U.S. Senate, and I think this is the best opportunity maybe since 1980 for the Republicans to win back the White House. And someone that I consider a great prognosticator of the political front is my good friend Tony Powers. He's with Powers to the People, which is on italkus.com and well heard in the Carolinas and Georgia. How are you, sir?
Well, I'm doing great, Kevin. The Republicans do have the capability of snatching defeat from the jaws of victory, though. And I don't want to get too overconfident, but I do feel I agree with you. I think we have the best chance. And this should be a landslide election. It should look like Reagan and Carter in 1980. You're absolutely right. That's the way it should be. But you've got, of course, the establishment wing of the party, and you do have a little battle going on in the GOP for the heart of the party between the conservatives and the establishment, or what I call the big government progressive Republicans. And we see them continuously shooting themselves in the foot. We saw it with this Iran vote the other day where they basically flipped it around. Barack Obama would have had to come to them to get a two-thirds majority to approve a treaty with Iran. And what did they do? They turned around and gave him the vote. So now they have to get a two-thirds majority to overcome his veto. So the way they plan things, the way McConnell and the way Boehner have been running the Senate and the House are kind of an embarrassment, especially for conservative Republicans. It seems like they acquiesce every time. Looks like we're going to give them Lynch as his Attorney General. That vote should not be allowed. They should never approve her as Attorney General. Obama has made the Keystone Pipeline wait 6 years. They've made Lynch wait 6 months. They ought to make her wait until Obama's out of office.
Yeah, no question about it. I agree entirely. So of that, you named the top tier, I think. You put Marco Rubio in that top tier.
Oh, yeah, I think Marco Rubio would be in the top tier for sure, because as of the senators, he has probably the most experience. His background in the Florida legislature, very successful career there, 9 years. He was the Speaker of the House in Florida, went on to become win a statewide Senate seat that nobody expected him to win. And, of course, he came in with the Tea Party wave in 2010. He's a very strong speaker. His story is such a great story, and I really like Marco Rubio. I guess my favorite would have to be Scott Walker, only because of the executive experience, but also because he has shown that he's battle-tested. He's fought the unions now for his entire career up in Wisconsin, and of course he came out of the state legislature there too. So. And he now knows how to work with the legislative branch, and I think he'd make a great president. So Ted Cruz, of course, I love him. I love his conservative positions, and I like Rand Paul too, because I'm basically a conservatarian myself. I just love liberty, and any one of those four, I would be happy with them.
Have you read the new book, The Conservatarian Manifesto?
No, I haven't. I need to get my hands on that.
The author's name is Cook. He's going to be on my show in about 2 weeks, and looking forward to that interview. It's a phenomenal book. It's brilliant. Demographically, we're shrinking. People who will vote for liberty is shrinking. And so for us, it really should become an existential idea of figuring out what can we swallow among traditional conservatives and what we can swallow among libertarians to create a coalition that works. And I tell you, the real answer is, for conservatarians, is to really push for more and more restoration of sovereign states and weaker federal governments, and then let states individually decide how they want things to look. And people move to the state that really reflects their values and their culture, making me so glad I live in the great state of Texas.
Oh, yeah. And, that's the founders' idea, these laboratories of democracy in each state. And one state does things one way, another does it another. And you see people will vote with their feet, and then eventually we'll finally kind of get through the experimentations of the states, I think we'd finally get to a point where more liberty would abound throughout the country. And liberty breeds prosperity. And we see what's happened with our economy over the last 6.5 years. We need liberty. We need less government, more liberty. Less government, more fun.
Yes, less government, more fun. I'm all over that. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of fun.
Absolutely. And happiness is all part of that. And if we want to have a happy country and a happy electorate out there, give them liberty.
Amen to that. Happy. We've got about a minute left. What kind of things are you guys focusing on your program these days?
Well, of course, we were talking about some of the things we're talking about, the election, although, we're 18 months out. Of course, that's 1 month for each Republican candidate. So we got a long time.
Which is probably how they'll fall, too, one a month.
Yeah, exactly. It'll be like whack-a-mole. The media is going to make sure that happens. But we've been talking about that. Of course, the economy. Iran is a big issue these days. And of course, giving the Ayatollahs a $50 billion signing bonus is about the most idiotic thing I've ever heard of. This administration, I just don't think this administration has a clue, or they do have a clue, and it's frightening if they do.
Yeah, that's the part that makes me nervous, is that I think they do have a clue. All right, again, Tony Powers, he's with Powers to the People, italkus.com. You can hear him all the time, all over the place through that channel. And if you're in the Carolinas or in Georgia, you can hear him as well. Always glad to have you on, buddy.
Hey, my pleasure, Kevin. Thank you.
Look forward to joining your folks, too, by the way. When we come back, much more for you. I do want to remind you, best content here shows up over there at usdatareview.com, including this interview. Stay tuned for more.